Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday class. Last class, we read Murli from 2nd December 1985. We heard about the solution to control thoughts. Baba said, the sign of someone in bondage is that one is always influenced by others. Someone who is in bondage will not always experience inner happiness, nor will they have the constant experience of happiness. Those who are in bondage, to their to them, their own thoughts remain busy with this for a long time. You also speak of building castles in the air. They get tired of their own wasteful tasks and also get disheartened because they are castles in the air. Sometimes, out of arrogance, they blame others for their own mistake. The biggest bondage, then, Baba mentioned, is the bondage of mind which locks the intellect. The sign of being in bondage is that the power of realization finishes. The speciality of the confluence age is of swinging in supersensuous joy and dancing constantly in happiness. Baba further said to continue to attain liberation, he told us to continue to attain liberation with spiritual power. He even mentioned that scientists are in bondage to the facilities they create. Baba mentioned to us, you are becoming liberated now, and you have to listen to the call and become bestowers of liberation. So, with this responsibility that Baba uh, has upon us, and also towards the end of the class, we saw that how leading to today's class in last 7 days, we can check which Raban's head is troubling us the most. What thoughts are troubling us the most? What conflicts are troubling us the most? Stop thoughts in that direction and replace it with some other practice. So this was what uh, we were all trying to do in 7 days from last class to today. I would like to invite everyone now to share what did they experience, how did they transition the thoughts of Ravan to the thoughts of purity, to the thoughts towards Baba. Om
Sorry,
Shanti.
I couldn't listen to what you said earlier, but last line I could hear and how to uh, bring the thoughts back to Ram. One simple step that I experienced and practiced, like whenever a thought came and the train starts, so immediately if I say that Soumya is a story worth not a penny, there is no need to hype the role. So all of a sudden it shrinks and the true picture comes and uh, and then the Ravan stops. That's my experience.
Thank you.
Uh, yes, the one practice that I've been doing since couple of days, it's like there are so many heads of Ravan that eventually come up, and there are so many titles that Baba has given us. So I'm just practicing just one title and going into the depth of it. This time I'm been practicing like whenever the thoughts of Ravan arises. I just practice the thought of Param Pavitra, which is a programming for me that puts a dot to everything. And as also mentioned today in the Avyak signal, that when you have faith, and in what practice you're doing, it is more powerful and it leads to success also. So, and the basis of all this is the only one thing, that the intellect is totally having with knowledge, blind faith in Baba. So that practice helps me move forward. Shanti, thank
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Abhay.
So,
Om Shanti, Rashmi.
Om Shanti. So what I have realized is that usually people speak only about anger, saying that you should not get angry because it is like holding like a burning coal in your hand. First you get burned, and then the person whom you are angry at will get. So first it is affecting us. But I have come to a realization that it is not just for anger. Even if it is love, peace, happiness, first we experience, and then when I experience, from that experience I also understand the eternal father. So whatever emotion, even positive emotions, love for example, first I experience it myself, then it expands. That is why I think it is told that not to see anybody's weakness, because if I can see weakness in others, first it is somewhere inside me also. That's why I'm able to see it in others. I'm Shanti.
Thank you, Rashmi. Wonderfully put together. Anyone else who would like to speak?
I was thinking of that when there is Baba Milan, Avyakt Baba Milan, then how Baba sees, na, how Baba looks. So I was thinking that I started in YouTube that what is Baba Milan, Drishti, Baba Milan Drishti. So yesterday I put some time for this, and I observed how Baba sees, and uh, from that I noted down few points. That first is that Baba's perspective is highest all the time. When he talks to his children, and the second point is that his mind and intellect never sinks. Uh, Actually, I want to say that his mind and intellect, जो आंख है ना, बुद्धि रूपी आंख, वो कहीं भी डूबती नहीं है, सिंक नहीं करती all the time. He never get impressed or any his state is always stable and with full of contentment. And other thing I note down that his perspective is always fresh. He sees, he has no subconscious feelings, any kind of. His every second when Baba talks, sees, his perspective is always fresh or full of freshness, and uh, he's always stable in every form. And when he enters in the body, uh, he only I observed that he only sits in the body. He is not attached to the body, and has come only for seva. That is only the um, aim of the Baba. When he I thought that there are more and more can be understand by this practice. I found it good. Thanks.
Thank you, Sunita. Yes, Ajay, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, hello and Om Shanti.
Hello.
So, like we say that everyone has, their strengths and their specific weaknesses. So, what is working for me is, regarding the practices we do. Like rather than checking in every hour or in every 20 minutes, like we usually do, for me it is working like setting targets based on every hour or every half an hour, like full of hour, like for example from 1 p.m to 1:30, I set this target that this is a film and everything is happening in the film. And within that half an hour, there are some 1 minute, complete immersion in the truth. Like I ask this question to myself that if this is a film, who is saying this? And the answer came, the invisible witness. And where he is right now. And the answer is that he is in the home right now. And with that answer, I, go to home, put light on the home and complete immersion in the truth. And, then came back after 1 minute or 2 minutes and then continue with this practice that this is a film and keep this smrti in the mind. Then after half an hour, then took a new target like, this is a dream world or something else like this role is, it is completely irrelevant or this drama is irrelevant, something else. And within that practice, this 3 to 4 drills of complete immersion. And with that, thank you.
Thank you, Ajay. Yes, Kavita, you can please feel free to speak.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
So, in this last week, there were some observations and also some realizations. Actually, here in one of the retreat center, like one of the surrendered brother, like he was in duty. He does duty in electric department. So all of a sudden, from somewhere, from some convention hall, uh, the balloon had just it flown and it just came before his department, and it got wrapped with the tree there. So that brother, along with three other workers, they went and they tried to remove that um, helium balloon. Actually, I think it has hydrogen also inside. So it blasted, and it was like a fire accident, and he got burns of 65%. So we got a message that we have to give Sakash to this brother, and all that was going on. So here there was a thought, because like Baba says, Antamati Sogati. So it was like Baba says, you have to be ever ready, because we don't know what will happen next, because it's a unpredictable world, as we have learned already. But at that moment, what was on his mind? I was like here, Kavita was just into that shoe and just thinking what could be the mind at that time, whether it was like just took that incident, and the whole day was just reflecting on it, like, and checking like who is using the mind, whether Ravan or the angel, because most of the time, uh, because we are aware of the knowledge and everything, but practically how we are bringing it into action, like what we are thinking at that moment, that is more important. So was trying to check on that, and made some practices to spend more time, uh, you know, with the home, and like being in the home, small practices, and also looking at Baba as director, because uh, this perspective is really so helpful uh, for Kavita here, because when Kavita sees Baba as director, then everything like emerges like that. It's a film, and you're just uh, observing this film, and practically, if you're doing something also in the day routine, that also feels like Baba's direction, not this dolls is doing something, or it's doll's own like decisions or anything, but everything is of Baba's, because the actors are like puppets, because we have to follow the directions of the director only. We cannot do whatever we want, whatever may be the script, but still we cannot do as we wish. So that was the more attention, and also uh, now there is more interest in knowing the personality of Baba than anyone else. That thing has uh, like that is something very attractive and very fascinating. Sometimes it feels that uh, because we say so many things like how he sees or how what he feels. So based on that perspective, uh, it has helped, uh, and just trying to work on that only, like uh, most of the time, like where is the attention, like because uh, in the practices also, when we take the jump for 1 minute, it's fine, and after that, how is the sthiti after that? So just trying to work on it, and checking the things based on that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kavita. Yeah. I'll invite Sister now, and we can proceed with today's class. Om Shanti.
So, Neha, are you wanting to speak?
Yes. Om Shanti. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, but your voice.
Great time for experience. In the last few hours, and even the next few hours, they are all part of a story. Those who are the real people, they are observers of the story. They have no control in the story. From start to end, it is a story. Ravan's way of living is to take support from the story. Ravan's happiness, Ravan's contentment, Ravan's easiness, Ravan's enjoyment is all based on the story. Those who are real, the real people, are the ones who are invisible and incognito. Their happiness, their peace or contentment, nothing is dependent
on the story, real people and their entire life, all their ideas, and experiences of love, of peace, easiness, contentment, fun, enjoyment are from the real world. They can be amused by the story. They can appreciate the story. And appreciation of the story for the one who is conscious continues when the story is favorable or unfavorable. If Ravan is involved, appreciation is only when story seems to be favorable. Story appears to be comfortable, good for the role that one role, one doll that Ravan thinks it's me. That is when he appreciates the story. He is singing Wah Wah. But Ravan cannot sing Wah Wah. And story is illogical, out of control. The highest form of intelligence is to have no supports from the story. Intelligence is enjoying the home beyond the story and not compromising to come out of that experience and awareness. Om Shanti. So, any other? It was very nice to hear everyone share. And if there's anyone else who would like to share, who didn't get a chance to share, maybe. Yeah. So, Neha, do you want to now try and speak? You can see you've got one device.
Yes, Om Shanti. Um, just as the thing we practice, I think I feel more easy when I visualize the Paramdham, the red color, the sweet red color, because when I say I'm not from this world, it's very difficult to say again and again, because when the problem come, it's difficult to remind, to prompt, yes, I'm not from this world, this is a story world. But for me, it's get very easy when I visualize, when I visualize the paramdham, yani the sweet red color. So yani ye so this intellect, I think it's get very much it's easy to visualize and then to remind ki yes, I'm not from this world. So I think this is this is getting easy for me, because the word and the visualization, there is a very vast difference. And by visualizing, it's get easy to remind again and again. Yes, while walking, while eating, while doing work, to remind the sweet red color of my home. So this is for this I'm getting more comfortable. Yes, this want to share.
Nice.
Is it okay, sister?
Yeah. Yes, yes, very nice. And where is Neha been residing? Where are you from?
I'm from this West Bengal, Siliguri.
Yeah, so
Mm,
nice, very nice.
thank you.
So we will read this movie. It is a nice subject for us. We'll just share a bit of, yeah. So this is the passage from 21st of November 1981. The essence of this murli is let go and become free. Today, Bap Dada, who is always the cooperative companion of the children, will tell his cooperative children, who are his constant companions, about an entertaining conversation between Bap and Dada. All of you are entertaining, are you not? Therefore, the father too tells such entertaining things. So today, a very large, beautiful, alokik, and significant looking tree emerged in front of Baghdada. The tree was very beautiful and it had many branches, some small and some large, some thin and some thick. There were various very beautiful, colorful birds on that tree. Each one was sitting on its own branch. Because of the birds, the tree looked very beautiful. Some birds would come flying and sit on Bab Dada's fingers. Some would come and sit on Bab Dada's shoulders, and some just continued to circle around. Some just sat at a distance and met Baba through their eyes and were happy with just that. They were happy just to observe the pleasure the other birds had in meeting Baba. So is it clear till here what was said? Any comments on what was shared so far?
Baba is talking about the state of children, their stage in Purusharth. According to that, they are at that position.
Yes. Anyone else would like to? So it's any other comments? We will read this again. Some would come and sit on Baba's shoulders, and some just continued to circle around. Some just sat at a distance and met Baba through their eyes and were happy with just that. They were happy just to observe the pleasure the other birds had in meeting Baba. They themselves didn't come close. Seeing such a scene, Father Brahma smiled, clapped, and began to call all the birds to him. Baba very sweetly invited all the birds to come. He said, "Come, children, come, children." Even then, those birds wouldn't come. Although they had wings and were flapping those wings, they were still clutching onto the branches so tightly with their claws that they were unable to fly and come closer. What happened then? Even though they wanted to, they weren't able to fly. They began to call out with a lot of love, "Baba, Baba." Then they said something. What would they have said? What would the birds say? They were saying "Baba, Baba," and then they said something. What was that? Any guesses?
Prayers, prayers.
Bondage, free from bondage.
Yeah. Any more guesses?
Baba wants to say, "Chodo to chute."
No, we are talking about what did the birds say?
They says that we want to come to you, Baba, but won't be able to.
Yes.
Not able to fly.
Mhm.
Baba, help us.
Baba, also take
Thoda
us with you.
So Baba was saying, come, 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 children. But all the birds were sitting on the trees. And so, who are these birds? Is that clear? What are the birds signifying?
Souls who are in bondage.
Yeah.
Souls trapped in roles.
Yes. So, yeah. So what did the birds say? They said, "Make us fly, make us fly." They didn't even say, So they said, "Make us fly, make us fly." And then they said, "Free us, free us." Baba said, instead of saying, "Free us," just let go and become free. However, amongst those birds, there were some who were very clever, but others who were very weak. You will read again. There were some amongst those birds, there were some who were very clever, but others who were weak. although they too wanted to experience the father's company. They didn't want to let go of the branch. So, what is the message from this last few lines? One line essence.
Means the
Last.
souls don't want to leave. Souls don't want to leave the bondages. They says these are bondages, but Baba said that you have to leave them. But souls are not trying to leave. They say that we have bondage. Means like टहनी ने पकड़ रखा है birds को that way.
I think it's basically an illusion the soul is having that somebody will release me, but Baba says that only you can release yourself. I can just help you.
They are so stuck to the old world, Ravan's world, that though they have the feeling that if we go to Baba, we will get a lot of happiness, but they don't have the courage to leave the old world.
Two kinds of souls, clever souls and weak souls.
The essence is that Baba's company is not in the branches. Essence is that the choice is between holding on to the branch or God's company. As long as the soul is holding on to a branch, Father's company, God's company cannot be experienced. So it is either or. Both cannot exist. So if there is company of God, experiences of being in the company of God, then that means that branches have been let go. The soul has given up on the branches and is not holding on to any branches. But if there is, the full interest in having God's company, full will to have experience God's company, but holding on to branches, then you cannot experience. So either let go or come into God's company. Either let go or stay with the branches. So although they too wanted to experience, so just having the want to experience, it will not make us experience. So although they too wanted to experience the Father's company, they didn't want to let go of the branch. So Baba is not making some philosophical statements that the soul is perfect and soul is karmatit and you are like this. It is very practical knowledge of Ravan and Maya. Very, very practical, not just some bhakti-like, just some good words, but he understands the psychology of Ravan. And so he can see that there is interest, they want to experience, but at the same time, the soul is holding on to many branches. And Baba said, although they too wanted to experience the Father's company, they didn't let go of the branch. The clever birds wanted to do both. The weak and innocent birds wanted to become free, but they didn't know how to get their freedom. So, Sita, who is weak, who is in Ravan's kingdom, Sita, who is in Ravan's kingdom, doesn't even know how to get free. She is powerful, but not knowing how to be free, or what to be free from, makes Sita weak. So it is same here. They didn't even know how to get their freedom. The innocent ones, in their innocence, didn't even realize that they had to let go. So the innocent ones, they think that they can hold on to the branch and say, no, the soul is so perfect, I am with God. So they are innocent. They are holding on to the branch. They are, lot of weaknesses, slave of lot of habits and sanskars and things in the drama, things from the story world. But they are so innocent. They think I am with God. While being slave of all the branches. So they are, innocent. Baba said they are innocent. They are so innocent of Maya, not soul's innocence, but innocent of Maya. So they didn't even realize that that how to become free. Clever ones wanted to do both. Weak ones uh, Weak ones wanted to become free, but they didn't know how to get their freedom. And innocent ones, they didn't even realize that they had to let go. Seeing these birds, Bab Dada repeatedly told them to let go and become free. But the birds continued to chatter in their own language. So birds are not speaking God's language, they are speaking their own language. And what are they saying? Bab Dada showed them what to do, and yet they wouldn't let go of the branch a little, but still be clutching onto it. This is why they continue to call out. If there is a calling out, anything happens in the drama and like Baba fix this, I hope, some sort of call out. It is like bhakti. Calling out is in bhakti. For the one who knows, Gyan is that it is a story. God cannot do anything about the story. God cannot do anything within that story because it is not his story. It is a script. So to call out to God, that in itself is bhakti, that in itself is weakness, innocence with Maya, innocent of Maya. So this is why they continue to call out, although they continued to speak. They were unable to become flying birds. So they were speaking, but they were unable to become flying birds. They were unable to experience having a close meeting with the Father and tour the world. That is, they were unable to do the tour of unlimited world service. Just like Baba, he sees the story as a story, and so he goes into the story to spread light, and he can go anywhere. So those who are experiencing close meeting with the Father, they will be very happy to tour, anywhere they want to go and give light. This is world service. Now each one of you can ask yourself, where were you? Were you on a branch or on the Father's shoulders? Or were you dancing on his fingers? Or were you flying around Baba? Do you know yourself? Ask yourself to what extent you have made affirm for yourself the lesson of let go and become free. His cooperative children who are his constant companions. Who are the constant companions? Who let go. And let go, become free. It is detachment. Detachment, if you want to, anyone asks how to explain it, let go and become free. So, do you always remember the lesson, let go and become free? Or is it that you can become free when? When? What happens? When do you become free? You have to ask, do we become free by letting go? Or do we become free by
Pain.
pain? Huh? Yeah, so you have to ask, do we become do we become free by our own choice before time, or when we get when the tree starts to shake, or the branches start to fall off? When do we become free? So Baba is saying, do you always remember the lesson, let go and become free? That is through knowledge. Or is it that you can become free when others let go? When others, they change, some characters change, something happens in the drama, then you let go. So that letting go is not through knowledge. It is not knowledge. It is through experience of the drama. Someone can be 80 years old and they can have a lot of experience of drama. These situations came and that situations. But wisdom from drama, by the scenes in the drama, that is actually not wisdom. It is experience. Just like someone gets old, so they have a lot of experience of the journey. But maturity is different. Having maturity, having wisdom means that it is not only through situations. Maybe 5% drama and situations are involved, but 95% is through your experience of your own detachment, experience of freedom. And because you've tasted that, you don't want to compromise on that. You don't want to become, come into a box and settle for this tree that is always shaking, unpredictable tree. So that is your cleverness. That is maturity. Maturity is when you have some, higher experience and you decide not to go into the temporary experiences. That is maturity. Even someone who is 80 years old may not be mature, and someone who is 80 years old can have that maturity. Spiritual knowledge is that maturity. Learning before situations. Learning after situations is a Lokik method. That is still, 5% that can happen in our journey, but 95% is not from the drama. Because the first lesson is that you are a soul, your home is different, and this is a drama. That is the first lesson. So 95%, your wisdom is that because it's a drama, it is a story, it is a script, it is not in your hand, then full stop. Why will I go into the story, get attached in the story, then learn from that story? Why? Who will do that? Only someone who has no idea that it's a script, only someone who has no idea that it's a drama. They will call it life, life, learning through different phases of life. That is a separate thing. Or is it that you can become free when others let go? Or is it that you can only become free when the Father frees you? You don't imbibe this lesson in that way, do you? So how are you learning this lesson of let go and becoming free? Is drama teaching you, or you are begging Baba, begging God, you make me free? So are you learning in that way? Baba is asking. You are not touching onto any type of branch with the, how do you hold on to a branch? Practically, how does a soul hold on to a branch? Those who don't have the murli in front of them, they
Fully
can,
dependent on situations of drama, fully dependent on all decisions, all feelings, full dependency on drama.
yeah. And how do we become dependent on drama? How does that
They have
happen?
expected. They have expectation. They try to change the scenes of drama.
Yeah, expectation. Nice. Yes. So it is through the intellect. Intellect is stone intellect, then there are expectations, practically. Stone intellect, expectations, divine intellect knows that it is a drama, it is a script. Why would anyone expect anything from a script, from a movie? If you read a storybook, do you expect anything from that storybook? If you watch a movie, do you expect anything from the movie? No, you know it's a movie. So Baba is asking, you are not clutching onto any type of branch with the claw of your intellect. Are you? Is through the intellect. You haven't perched on a branch just because of some old sanskars or your nature, or because you lack a power, or because of being weak, have you? Do you put this lesson, let go and become free, into practice in every situation? In every situation, do you put into practice, let go and become free? It was this lesson that made Father Brahma become number one. So, not because people change, situations change, then we start to let go. We just start to change our behavior and we let go. And we say it is we are letting go. But there is pain. Yeah, subconsciously that letting go has pain. That has hurt. That is a Lokik letting go. But we enter into every situation knowing that it is a film, it is a performance, it is a cartoon show. And before even holding on, even if anything comes your way, let go, let go. Don't even hold on to anything. Let go and become free. So it is not that you hold on to a branch first, then that branch shakes and you let go. But now the invisible soul comes into the drama with knowledge. And even before it is, while flying, there may be many trees around us, but while flying, we know the lesson is let go and become free. So, do you put it into practice in every situation? It was this lesson that made Father Brahma become number one. He let go from the beginning and thereby became free. So, from the beginning. So, in the world, the way is first completely become attached, completely become dependent, give support, take support, and then as you yourself are in the slavery of situations and people, and the person who is offering you support is also in the slavery of situations and people, all of that. And then suddenly things change and I can't give you support, they can't give me support, and now we let go. But if the situation stayed the same, then we don't want to let go because Ravan's life is going well. But suddenly now the tree starts to shake and I'm wanting to let go. So Father Brahma became number one by being free from the beginning. He never thought that he would only become free if his companions or his relatives freed him. He never thought that he would only become free when those who were creating obstacles stopped doing that, or that he would become free when the various adverse situations went away. Did he ever think that? He constantly made this lesson firm for himself. No matter if others are, holding on to your support and wanting support or, some expectations, but the one who has this lesson, they let go from the beginning and they remain free. Their freedom is not dependent on when people or situations, when will changing situations or changing people. So do you follow the Father in the same way? This is known as the one who takes the initiative is Arjuna. Therefore, he became Arjun. Did he not? He came very close to the Father. He became equal and combined. So therefore, have you become like them? Or are you sometimes one thing and sometimes another, like this electricity? So electricity is also part of this tree. Tree is this physical world, and that tree is shaking and always under the influence of the wind. And so electricity and everything is part of that tree. So the lights were continuously going out, and that's why Baba gave the example of electricity. You don't sometimes play the game of letting go by yourself and at others' times, of becoming free only when others let go, do you? These lights going out is also a game, is it not? Sometimes to come on and sometimes to go out is also a game. You don't play such games, do you? Which do you prefer? When something is constant or when something keeps coming and going? Therefore, in every aspect, whether in transformation of your nature or sanskars, or in coming into relationship with another, or in overcoming situations and obstacles, what lessons do you have to make firm? So whether coming into relationship, whether coming into situations, or coming into obstacles, what is the lesson? When you yourself let go, you can become free. The situations are not going to go away. You yourself have to let go and become free. Even if other souls come into conflict with you because of sanskars, remember that you will only become free when you let go. So our freedom is not when the conflict is over. Freedom is only when I let go of some branch. These branches are like false identities with the old world intellect. The birds are holding on to those branches. So I usually, Ravan thinks we become free when situations, what is the one saying? There is a saying something like, yeah, time will heal. these sort of sayings. Completely, I don't agree with them completely. Mostly, I think they are these statements are not jnani. Time will heal. Why? Because you are at the mercy of drama, you're at the mercy of time. So when there are no conflicts, when there is no opposition, it is a Ravan statement that you will heal. But that is not healing. Healing is what is Baba saying? In those situations, in those conflict, you let go of your identity. You become free. Freedom is healing. Freedom will, the taste of freedom, when the bird starts to fly high, it will heal everything. So it is not time that heals. That is Ravan's method. And then time will heal, and then time will give another wound, another pain. And then time will heal again. So even if other souls come into conflict with you because of sanskars, remember that you will only become free when you let go. Don't think when the other person stops creating conflict, you will become free. No. If you believe that you can only become free when that person lets go, then when that conflict ends, what will happen? Conflict has ended, we have become free, and then what will happen?
Some other conflict will start.
Yes. So another one will start. For how long are you going to keep waiting for the other person to let go so that you can become free? Obstacles of Maya and test papers are going to come in your study in every different form from time to time. So, is it that you pass if you study, or do you only pass if the teacher gives you an easy paper? That is a nice way of putting it. Let go and become free. Another way of putting it, is it that you pass if you study, or do you pass if the teacher gives you an easy paper? What do you have to do? Is it correct to say that you will pass when you study well? Similarly, here too, you have to pass in every situation. Don't think that so and so has to pass. Don't think that such and such a situation has to end. Understand that you yourself have to pass. This is known as becoming free by letting go. No, Baba is not saying you are already free, you are already perfect, you are already powerful, because he knows souls are under the influence of Ravan. So they are in bondage. A practical problem, Baba is the teacher. A good teacher sees the real problem and gives real solutions. Baba is not a poet, he is not a philosopher. He sees real time problems, real time solutions. So he's seeing the real problem, having bondages, having trouble in letting go and becoming free. So he is just focusing on letting go of the branch. That is why it is first thing is to know that it is a story. Story is a story. And then the personality of the soul itself becomes conscious. Baba is not focusing on how the soul is. He is focusing what the soul is holding on to. And that is a different approach. It is a brilliant teacher who would do it in such a way. So this is known as becoming free by letting go. Do not wait for anything, but prepare yourself. You are a bird. You have wings. You are very beautiful. You are sitting on the father's tree. So there's drama. It is like you see it as Baba likes that drama. So he's saying this is like father's tree. That is, you belong to the Brahmin family. However, there is the weakness of seeing any type of your own or someone else's sanskars or nature and speaking about them. You are not independent in your efforts. You become dependent. So in Purusharth, in efforts, we have to check, are we independent or dependent? That too dependent on the, yeah. So there is attachment to a person or object. You lack a particular virtue or power. All of those are the various branches. So you are not perched, clutching on to one of these branches, are you? If you hold on to any branch, you are unable to have an experience of the closeness of constantly dancing on the Father's finger, of constantly moving along with the support of the finger of Srimad. You won't be able to cooperate in every task of the Father's, that is, you won't be able to dance on his shoulders. One is to be constantly sahayogi, cooperative, and the other is sometimes to be cooperative and at other times to be separated from the Father Viyogi. Sahayogi and Viyogi. So why? It is because instead of cooperating, you become separated from the Father by clutching onto one of those branches. So Baba is saying that the experience of being in God's company is blocked by bondages. So you just need to remove the blockage, and then the experience starts all over again. But remove the bondages, remove the branches. So now ask yourself, who am I? Do you understand? What lesson have you made firm today? Let go and become free. You have made this firm, have you not? You will not clutch onto the branch, will you? When you get tired, you clutch onto the branches and perch there. Sometimes you get tired of yourself, sometimes you get tired of others, sometimes you get tired of service. So you keep clutching onto that branch and crying out, now free me, free me. You yourself are clutching onto it and you are asking the Father to free you. Why should he do this? Therefore, Baba constantly shows you ways to free yourself, and you yourself have to let go. When you yourself do something, you receive the reward of that. If the Father were to do that for you, then who would receive the reward? So Baba will show ways to become free, and we have to make ourselves free. So we have to ask two very important questions. What were the two important questions? What were some of the questions that came up? And we will finish with this. What are the questions? Checking points?
Not remembering the exact lines, but the question is basically that what is the method that you use for letting go? So do you let it go on your own, on the basis of knowledge, by using the right intellect, or do you wait for the situations to become favorable? Then it is actually not letting go, according to Baba. So this is what we need to check within ourselves.
That was, that is very important questions. And so another question was, when do you pass if you study, by your own study, by your own method, or do you pass because teacher has given you an easy paper? And another question. Baba is showing the way to become free, and we ourselves have to become free. So if there is any area where freedom is not experienced, the question is, what is the bondage? What is the false identity? And letting go of that. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, there is one poetic way of saying this, like, Mahabharata is going on, and God is asking to Arjuna that on one side, there is Narayani Sena, and on one side is me, and you have to choose between those, and Duryodhan chose the Narayani Sena, and Arjuna chose the God, So symbolically, we can say that, Narayani Sena is all this world of, prestige and all comfort and conveniences and all kind of, bondages, and on other side, God himself. Yeah, thank you.
This statement, you are not clutching onto any type of branch with the claws of your intellect. Here, Baba is talking about the line of clarity. To those who have crossed the line of clarity and don't have any clarity and have expectations.
Mm. No, the one final line is message is, you are birds, you have wings, and Father is showing ways to use those wings and become free. So this lesson of let go and become free, every situation, and practically what it looks like, every situation, everything that you do, you always have a backup plan, and you are always prepared for everything to go wrong, anything to go wrong. And this tuning inside means you are on the right direction. You are letting go and becoming free. So every time you are doing the right thing, you are planning for the best, creating best plans. But back up, there is always this in the mind that things will change, people will change, situations will change. Always that setting that birds are flying past these branches, and these are shaking branches. These tree is shaking, multiple trees, and they are all shaking. So when the bird is flying past that, always with this awareness that it is all shaking, it is changing, everything and anything can change, will change. And soul is absolutely okay with it. And because it has nothing to do with that tree, it has its own world and freedom, and it has wings. Nice, very nice discussion. So we will meet again. Thank you, and good night and Shanti.